It's being seen as a supreme boost to the Narendra Modi government's efforts to send illegal Rohingyas back to their country. So the first batch of 7 was sent back, and the Supreme Court, a bench that was headed by the Chief Justice of India, Ranjan Gogoi, they refused to interfere. They refused to intervene in government's actions. The government also made it very clear that the government of Myanmar had accepted these 7 as their citizens and they are being repatriated. But is this just the tip of the iceberg? Will only 7 be sent back, or will the government now gradually send back all 40,000 of them, some of whom have now started moving to different parts of the country, from the northeastern states down to Kerala, Jammu, Hyderabad, Delhi, Western Uttar Pradesh? 40,000 spread across the country, and are they a threat to the country's national security?
In a first, 7 Rohingyas who had crossed over illegally into India handed over to authorities in Myanmar 6 years later. The Myanmar authorities accepted them as their citizens during the handing over ceremony at the Moreh border crossing in Manipur. Earlier in the day, the Supreme Court refused to intervene and stay their deportation. Senior advocate Prashant Bhushan approached the court claiming that the move to deport refugees was against the UN Charter. Chief Justice of India, Ranjan Gogoi, said that the apex court was not inclined to interfere with the decision taken. The court also told Bhushan that he need not remind them of their responsibility.
We had requested that the government of India should not be permitted to send them back in this situation. Today the government of India filed a short affidavit saying that no, these people want to go back. We said that at least the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights should be permitted to interview them to find out whether they really want to go back in this situation in Myanmar or not.
The centre had earlier told the Supreme Court that the illegal Rohingyas in India were a threat to the country's national security. The intelligence agencies have repeatedly cautioned the government about their suspected links with terrorist organizations.
यह आवश्यक है भाई. आखिर में ये कौन है? ये भारतीय नहीं है, ना मंशा से भी भारतीय है, और हमें कोई ऐसा नहीं है कि मुसलमान जहाँ कहीं से भी आ जाएं हम उनको लेना है.
The government sees the Supreme Court action as a shot in the arm for its drive to repatriate the illegal Rohingya refugees in India.
जो अनऑथराइज्ड हैं, घुसपैठिए हैं, सरकार की नीति और नीयत साफ है, और आज पहला जत्था को उन्होंने भेजने का काम किया है. मुझे लगता है कि इस पर राजनीति नहीं होनी चाहिए.
New Delhi's move has, however, faced criticism by the United Nations that sees the repatriation of 7 illegal Rohingya refugees as a violation of international law.
UNHCR और हाई कमीशन फॉर ह्यूमन राइट्स UN के, उन्होंने दोनों हमारे डिसीजन के बारे में कहा गलत फैसला है, और ख़ुद UN के सेक्रेटरी जनरल ने हिंदुस्तान को याद दिलाया है कि ऐसा करने से हम यूनाइटेड नेशन का जो प्रिंसिपल ऑफ रिफ्यूलमेंट है, हम उसके वायलेशन कर रहे हैं. जो हमारा ख्वाब है कि सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल में हमको एक परमानेंट सीट मिले, तो अगर हम खुद UN के प्रिंसिपल्स का वायलेशन करेंगे तो इससे हम क्या पैगाम देंगे और क्या पैगाम दे रहे हैं, इसको सोचने की ज़रूरत है.
There are more than 40,000 Rohingyas living in India, but only 16,000 of them have been registered with the UN Refugee Agency. Hence, it remains to be seen if the repatriation of 7 Rohingyas today is only an isolated act, or will the government send the rest back to their country too. Paulmi Saha in Delhi for India Today.
So 7 sent back. What about the remaining 40,000 illegal Rohingyas in India? Kiren Rijiju is Minister of State for Home, joins me on the broadcast. Mr. Rijiju, 7 sent back. They, of course, are illegal immigrants. What about the 40,000 refugees who are in our country?
See, you have to understand between the term refugees as well as the term illegal immigrants. Refugees are those who are permitted or accepted by the government of India to stay in India in a particular designated place or location identified temporarily till alternative arrangement is made. illegal immigrants are totally not permitted to stay in our country. So Rohingyas are not refugees, but they are illegal immigrants in our country. So they have to go back. For that, the process is something which the government of India has started.
So what you're saying, sir, is that all of them, all 40,000, if that's the official figure, or 40,000 plus as some say, they're all illegal immigrants in India. Not one of them is a refugee running away from persecution in Myanmar.
As I said, since Rohingyas are illegal immigrants, the efforts are on to send them back. We have asked the state governments and all other agencies to identify them and keep them or put them in the detention camp so that the process can be initiated.
Okay, so what is the next step after this? These illegal immigrants, they're roaming around freely in our country, from the northeast to Kerala, from Jammu to Hyderabad. Will they be confined to certain locations? Are they free to travel across the length and breadth of this country?
There are detention camps and there are provisions on which the state governments will act, and we are in touch with the state governments. The Union Home Ministry has been keeping in touch and keeping an eye on this matter and issued advisories to the state governments, directions also. So this will be followed up strictly.
Okay. What is being done to identify these 40,000 individuals? Because apparently only 14,000, some 100 or 15,000 are registered with the United Nations. So will their fingerprints be taken? Will biometrics be taken? What's your next course of action, sir?
No, it's very clear. We have asked the state authorities, central agencies, everybody to act upon it, and then wherever there are facilities, these people will be identified, and then biometrics or other required method which we will apply, and then we have to ensure that these people do not acquire or obtain any kind of documents which will be used as their claim to become Indian citizenship in future. So that we have to be very clear, because the earlier this Congress regime, nothing was done. So many illegal immigrants have entered into Indian territory, and some of them must have acquired false documents which have made their claims legal through various means. Our government is very clear that damages are being done, but we should not allow further damage.
Okay. What we're also being told is that some of them may be either vulnerable or already involved in anti-India activities, either subversive activities or terror activities. Where is the evidence, sir? So there are intelligence bureau notes, but where is evidence? Where are these people being identified? When will they be prosecuted for this?
Who are large in numbers, who are illegally living in various parts of our country, are vulnerable to various actions and acts which are detrimental to national security. We have got certain reports where some of the Rohingyas are being misused. So that is why we are very much concerned about this particular issue.
Okay. For the moment, Mr. Kiren Rijiju, many thanks for joining me. So you're saying that action will be taken. It's already been 4 years of a government. It remains to be seen what action is taken now. Many thanks for joining me, sir. Let me now throw the floor open. I want to now bring in Dr. Sambit Patra, national spokesperson of the BJP, Professor Manojit Mandal. He's a professor of the Jadavpur University in Kolkata. Tracks the Trinamool Congress very closely. Mr. Vikram Singh is former DGP of the Uttar Pradesh Police. He joins me on the broadcast. A large number of these Rohingyas are settled illegally in parts of Uttar Pradesh. And Dr. Taslim Ahmad Rahmani is the president of the Muslim Political Council of India. He too joins me on the broadcast. And Mr. Rahmani, is this a good step? Identify illegal Rohingyas and then make grounds for their repatriation back to their country so that they are not a burden on our resources?
You see, I said earlier also that we have to differentiate between the illegal migrants and refugees.
Well, the government has just made it stand very clear. There are no illegal migrants or refugees. They are all illegal migrants. They are all illegals in our country. You heard the Minister of State for Home.
This may be the government state which may not be the proper this may be the government state. The government can, if government says that I am an illegal migrant, that doesn't mean that it is true.
So you are identifying more with the Rohingyas than
how they are living here, and where are the detention camps? Where are the detention camps? He did not. Mr. Minister could not tell you where are the detention camps. They are living in Delhi. They are living in Mewat. I have visited so many camps. Where are the detention camps? If they are the illegal migrants, why they are living without the detention camp outside?
Dr. Sambit Patra, please respond. That's a fair point. That's a fair point that Taslim Ahmed Rahmani raises. Why are they not in detention camps? Why are they right next to a military station in Sanjuan?
No, in fact, first statement of Mr. Rahmani that if they are illegal immigrant, it only smacks of the pretension that these people are not illegal immigrants. In fact, I was listening to the Honorable Minister when you were questioning him, and what did he say? That there is a constitutional stand and the rules to this. In fact, the central government writes to the state government, first identify, thereafter detain, and then deport. That is the sequence of event. Many of the states have identified, or the process of identification is on. Many states have refused or are going slack on it, and particularly the states which do not have a BJP government. Remember Mamata Banerjee, she in fact tweeted when this whole issue was coming up that I stand with the United Nations and I reject what the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Modi, has to say. And remember, there was a India Today exclusive report in which you had shown as to how the refugee camp in West Bengal particularly has become the adda for issuing all kind of Aadhaar cards, the voter ID cards, etc. to these illegal immigrants. Ironically, I don't see as to why we should be fighting. I and Mr. Rahmani, both of us should be on the same side. This is, remember, not a Hindu-Muslim issue. This is a India versus illegal immigrant issue. For God's sake, don't make this a Hindu-Muslim issue.
Dr.
As
Rahmani,
many of our political opponents
Dr. Rahmani,
out
please
of the vote
respond.
bank
Do you
politics
agree?
trying their best
This
to
is
do.
not a Hindu-Muslim issue. It's an India versus illegals issue, and illegals should be identified and repatriated, or situation should be created for their safe repatriation.
So one of the minister today in the morning has said that this issue should not be politicized, and whatever Mr. Sambit Patra is saying is highly on the political grounds. I want to ask him why in Jammu and Kashmir, since a couple of months back they were in governance over there, where are the detention camps in Jammu and Kashmir? Why, if they have instructed to the state, why the Kashmir state, he said that the BJP states did it and the non-BJP states did not make the detention camps, and identification process was not meted out. Then why Jammu and Kashmir was spared? Then I want to ask him.
Fair
and
point.
Then when he says
fair point, and Sambit Patra must respond. But I want to quickly bring in Mr. Vikram Singh, because he's former DGP of Uttar Pradesh. Sambit, you must respond to that, because that's a serious charge. But Mr. Vikram Singh, should this be looked at as a humanitarian issue, or should this be looked at as a national security issue, Mr. Vikram Singh?
Then why this hue and cry?
Of course, Mr. Gaurav, there are serious security issues, and to take them lightly is absolutely irresponsible. I would say that the process is very clear, as Dr. Sambit Patra said: identify, detain, and deport. If by any accident they have not been identified, they have smuggled themselves inside through a crime syndicate, that does not mean that they have any legitimacy in India. That does not accord them any legitimacy. Now, the way in which they are moving to various parts of the country, and the sensitive parts, Jammu, Delhi, Hyderabad, Kerala, parts of Uttar Pradesh, that goes to show that there is a regular crime syndicate that is operating via those facilitating politicians to ensure that they come, enter, and course of time they are given valid identity cards like the Aadhaar card, the voter's ID, ration cards, etc. That should not happen.
That should not happen. Professor Mandal, you agree? You agree? These illegal Rohingyas in our country should not have access to an Aadhaar card or a ration card, so that they don't become a voter one day. They'll get a voter ID card. They should not become vote banks.
Gaurav?
Yes, Professor Mandal.
Gaurav, what about those who are having a UN human rights card? What about those? What is their status?
Okay, go on, Dr. Rahmani.
It's around 24,000 only. And out of 24,000, 16,000 had the UN identity card.
Can I come in?
What is their status?
Yes, Professor
No, who said
Mandal,
that?
you
are
must come in.
figures, Mr. Rahmani.
Yes,
You are wrong
I
with
will
your
come back to you,
figures,
Mr. Rahmani, but
I have the
Mr.
complete
Mandal, if you
figure
can hear
over
me
here.
quickly.
Can I come in?
Yes.
I totally agree with what Mr. Rahmani is saying. In fact, the whole issue is being politicized by the BJP only. And let me demolish the charge made by Mr. Sambit Patra that the West Bengal government has not identified the Rohingyas. And I give you the official figure. Only 69 Rohingyas are staying in the South 25 Parganas district, and all the documents and their records have been given to the Home Ministry. This is the charge which has been brought by Mr. Patra to politicize the whole thing, and that's what he's been doing since the morning. We definitely welcome the move by the Supreme Court by not interfering in this issue. If they are being deported to their respective countries legally, we certainly welcome. But at the same time, there is no point in demonizing the Rohingyas.
No question of demonizing it, but no question of patronizing either. Is that the point? But Sambit Patra, that's a fair point that Tasneem Ahmed Rahmani is raising. How is it that they are staying in Jammu? How is it that they are staying right next to the Sanjuan military station even today? How is it? How is it, Dr. Sambit Patra?
Gaurav, I cannot hear because there is a lot of shouting going on.
At the Sanjuan military station, the Rohingyas have not been removed from there. Where are they in quarantine? Where is that camp in Jammu, sir?
In fact, Gaurav, this is a very pertinent question, and as you have rightly stated that as far as the Sunjwan camp is concerned, there were apprehensions, and rightly so, that these people, these Rohingyans, were the one who were conspiring against the Indian setup. These were the ones who acted as the conduit for the Pakistani agencies, spied upon these camps of Indian army and harmed the Indian army camps to act of terrorism. Of course, they should be cordoned, they should be arrested, and if they have wronged, they should be detained and they should be deported. All I can do is, since it's a very sensitive state, you know, Jammu and Kashmir, we have a governor's rule out there presently. I'm sure that
why don't you relocate?
These activities will
if
be
you have the
taking
detention camp in Jammu and Kashmir, and they are near the
why do you shout in the middle, Mr. Rahmani?
Sambit Patra,
Mr. Rahmani, why do you shout?
Sambit Patra, if there is evidence, arrest them, prosecute them, jail them.
Just listen to me. I'm not shouting.
No, they would be.
I'm asking you.
Remember, a few of them have been jailed after the Bodh Gaya bomb blast. Few of them have been jailed also. They
but
are facing
why haven't
cases
they been quarantined at a national stage?
Bomb blast and the previous Bodh Gaya bomb blast as well. So remember this, that these are state government issues. As I said in my initial intervention, that some of the state governments, yes, there are detention camps in some of the states. A few of them have been detained. Remember in West Bengal also, it was the MHA, the Ministry of Home Affairs, which was quite strict with the Mamata Banerjee government when there was a report that some of these people have even got ration cards and voter ID cards.
No.
Okay.
Can you name?
Almost all the states have detention camps, sir.
It
is from the detention camp that these 7 people.
Will you please?
I am thankful. Sir, please stop shouting, sir. Please stop shouting. I'm thankful today that at least you are speaking against the Rohingyas.
Detention camps?
You were the one initially who said that Rohingyas should not be deported. I'm thankful. I'm thankful that today you are saying that they should be deported. I'm assuring you, every state has every state. We have a detention camp in Hyderabad. There is a detention camp in Delhi also. There would be, these people would be deported. I can assure you that these people nothing doing. None of you can go and approach the Supreme Court.
When will they be deported? Is there a timeline? Sambit Patra, is there a timeline? When will these illegal immigrants be deported? Tomorrow they will have children in this country. They will get married. They will have children. The children will become citizens. Children will get ration card. They will get Aadhaar card.
They are already having children. Every day there are so many children are born.
No, you are right. You are right. You are right. Mr. Rahmani is also right that almost look at the population explosion. Look at the population. My God, I cannot speak over everyone. I mean, Mr. Rahmani disturbs every debate. Mr. Rahmani is right that these people want to change the demography of this country, and that's the reason as to why they have been sent under a syndicate.
Gentlemen, one at a time. Dr. Rahmani, please.
Who are you? The Chief Justice of India, Mr. Rahmani? You are a PFI spokesperson, a spokesperson of a terror organization. So who are misleading? Who are you? You are the spokesperson of PFI, the Popular Front of India, and who are you to allege anyone else? You are a PFI spokesperson. By all rounds, you are the spokesperson of a terror organization. Who are you? A terrorist organization spokesperson. I don't take calls from you, sir. You are a spokesperson of a terror organization. I don't take calls from you. So what? You are a terror organization spokesperson, so I don't listen to terror organization spokespersons. Don't shout in the middle of me, Mr. Terrorist.
This is a national
Don't shout in the middle of me, Mr. Terrorist. Allow others to speak.
RSS is an unregistered terror organization.
Sir,
How can it be civil when you have a Rahmani over here speaking over everyone, not allowing anyone to speak?
ये राष्ट्र सुरक्षा का मुद्दा है। वो रोहिंग्या हमारे देश में आकर बैठे जा रहे हैं, एक राज्य से दूसरे राज्य में जा रहे हैं, आप आपस में लड़ रहे हैं। Mr. Vikram Singh, perhaps that signifies the problem in our country.
Hold yourself.
That signifies the problem of our country. Sir, Mr. Rahmani, give me a moment. Let me bring in Mr. Vikram Singh, who is battling this issue as a police officer.
Mr.
Vikram Singh, is this a national security issue? Should the illegal Rohingyas be isolated, identified, biometrics taken, and then when the situation is right, send them back? But in the meantime, ensure that they don't get ration cards, they don't get Aadhaar cards, they shouldn't become voters in our country, they shouldn't become a vote bank of any political party.
Mr. Gaurav Sawant, I'm aghast at the fact that there is even a debate on this. This is a national and moral duty to ensure all those who are perceived as enemies of India have no place to stay. India first, and charity begins at home. I see no reason why we should even think of the fact, without giving a second thought, we should place more credence on our Chief Justice, on our Honorable State Home Minister, rather than on any Commissioner of the United Nations. Of course, he is important, but not more important than my Chief Justice or my State Home Minister. And if I seem to have more credence, what have they done about Hafiz Saeed? What have they done about the terror camps? What have they done about Kashmiri Pandits? They also seem to have a myopic and a different set of standards. And Mr. Rahmani, please understand that leveling allegations against each other will not serve a purpose. India first, and if there's any person who says India not first, then I have to see whether I should participate in a debate where it's felt that India can come second.
Mr.
India
Rahmani,
can never come
you
second.
must
India is
respond
always
to this.
first.
Very true.
Mr. Rahmani, you must respond to this. Are you on the same page as everyone?
Mr. Rahmani, India was always first. India is remained first. But we have to adopt a uniform.
It does not appear, Mr. Rahmani,
we must have to adopt a uniform.
No, it never appears, Mr. Rahmani, that you keep India first.
We cannot be selective. We cannot be discriminative.
No, all I want to understand from you, do you agree that Rohingyas must be allowed to get a ration card or an Aadhaar card or a voter identity card? They should not be permitted to become a vote bank in this country like other illegal immigrants have become in the past.
Prosecuted Christians, prosecuted Buddhists and Jains, they would be allowed citizenship in India. Get this clear. Get this extremely clear. At the sake of repetition, I am telling you, prosecuted Hindus will be given citizenship.
Why not Muslim? That's how you are making it communal.
Will not be. Get it clear. Get it loud and clear, sir.
Gentlemen,
will not be.
That's a separate debate.
Clear, Mr. Rahmani, they will not be. Will not be. Go and complain to Pakistan, Mr. Rahmani, your home state, but will not be.
I am not living in a Hindu Rashtra. I am living in a secular.
Will not be, Mr. Rahmani. Go and complain anywhere you wish to.
You need to go to Nepal.
Mr. Rahmani, you are living wherever you are living, but the Rohingyans and the Bangladeshi Muslims will not be given citizenship for what may.
You go
to Nepal if you want to live in a Hindu
Nepal is also a secular country.
You go to Pakistan, sir. You go to Pakistan. We don't care about you.
Let's not send anyone to Pakistan. I wouldn't wish that even for our enemies. Gentlemen,
Mr. Gaurav Sawant, I want to make a categorical statement over here. Allow me.
Gentlemen,
allow me a few seconds to make a very categorical statement over here. Let me tell you what Mr. Amit Shah has already said. Well, yes, the prosecuted Hindus, from Bangladesh, prosecuted Hindus from other countries, prosecuted Buddhists and prosecuted Hindus, prosecuted Buddhists and prosecuted Jains and prosecuted Christians will be given citizenship in this country. Well, yes, the Rohingyans and the Bangladeshi Muslims will not be, come what may.
But why is
However
that, sir?
hard Mr. Rahmani may try to hit us, It is. I'll answer that. I'll answer that. Number one, we have seen the prosecuted Hindus and the Christians, etc. They are not national threats. They are not threats. They are not threats to national security, unlike the Bangladeshi Muslims and the Rohingyans. They are national threats. We have to call a spade a spade.
But where is the evidence, sir?
Political correctness.
Where is the evidence, sir? If Rohingyas are a threat to India's national security, where is the prosecution? Where is the conviction, sir?
I'll tell you that. The Intelligence Bureau, in fact, has submitted reports, which was in fact showcased in your channel also, that there is a national security threat as far as the Rohingyans are concerned. These are structured views of some of the highest organizations of this country. These are investigative scientific bodies. Number two, we have had the Bodh Gaya blasts also. Only recently, the United Nations also had come out with a report which was published in all the important dailies of the country, that, well, yes, there is a threat perception as far as the Rohingyas are concerned, because if this is the situation, Rohingyas may be used for terror activities across Southeast Asia. There are empirical proof to the same. Remember Ataullah Khan, the chief of the Arakan's Rohingya Liberation Front, he had been to areas for terror training.
Okay.
And these are issues which are in pen and paper. So please don't shut your eyes, don't behave like an ostrich saying that there's nothing going on around us.
Okay.
As far as Hindus are concerned, Hindus
now
come only when they are badly persecuted. We had seen in Pakistan, we have seen this in Bangladesh.
Okay.
What is the constitutional
no, but Mr. Rahmani,
mandate?
Two separate issues.
What
two
is the
separate
constitutional mandate for that?
Two separate issues. The debate today is very specifically about illegal Rohingya. The Home Ministry says, and the Home Minister, the Minister of State for Home is on record saying they are not refugees. India has not given them refugee status. They are illegal immigrants. An environment will be created for their repatriation to their country. Are you on the same page on that, sir? Irrespective of whether somebody is a Hindu or a Muslim, illegal immigrant should be sent back. Mr. Rahmani, very specific question. No, I would request a very specific answer.
I don't want to be communal at all. I don't want to see the people with the eyes of Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, etc.
Very good. Look at it from an Indian perspective.
If my own government comes on the communal lines and issues an ordinance that only the non-Muslims, persecuted non-Muslims...
Sir, that is not the debate today. We will have a separate debate on that issue. Sir, you are digressing from the issue. Sir, why do you have your sympathies towards the illegal immigrants in this country? Why do you have sympathies towards illegal immigrants in my country? Do you, sir?
You asked me this question. The illegal, there are two different issues. One
I have very specifically asked a question,
Assam. The government is trying to mix the illegal migrants from the Assam and to the Rohingyas. This is what Mr. Sambit Patra is trying to mix.
Let me bring in Mr. Vikram Singh for more clarity on this subject, sir.
These are two separate issues. As far as illegal immigrants of Assam are concerned, we have the NRC. And Rohingyans, well, yes, they have been illegal immigrants of this country as well. And they
Mr. Vikram Singh, are illegal Rohingyas, are we to look at it from a religious prism, that because Rohingyas are Muslims, they should be permitted to stay or made to go, sir? Mr. Vikram Singh, can you hear me?
No, could you repeat the question? I could not hear your question because of the crosstalks.
So my question is very specific, sir. Are we to look at it from a religious prism? Dr. Rahmani says that Rohingyas are being sent back because they are Muslims.
We should understand that national interest and national security comes first. And if the Rohingya Muslims have found their presence and the terrorists, Chota Barmi one and Abdus Samid Barmi also another, if they are hobnobbing and killed with Adil Pathan of Jaish-e-Mohammed, and there is incontrovertible evidence that ISI is funding, supporting and training their cadres in Pakistan and infiltrating them to India, I see no reason why this misplaced compassion should go towards them. One, national interest comes first, always and every time, and security comes first. Then the second question, irrespective of the fact of the community, we already have more than the population of Australia of illegal Bangladeshi migrants. We don't have deep pockets to support anyone and everyone in this world. It's better that we support our Kashmiri Pandits, we support our own who are destitute and poor, rather than crying over those who have better things to do and the better
Dr. Rahmani, please respond, and please respond very specifically, sir. Dr. Rahmani, are you supporting Rohingyas?
I want to ask the extra patriotic kind of people like Sambit Patra and Mr. Vikram Singh ji. It's not a communal issue.
Please don't make this personal.
Extra patriotic? What is extra patriotic?
You know, when Sambit Patra said something, I requested you also not to make a personal attack. I'm requesting you to say the same.
Whatever our government is doing is highly communal and discriminative. I asked so many times, what is the status of 16,000 Rohingyas who are getting the UN card over here? And they have the legal status as a refugee, not as an illegal migrant.
No, they don't have a legal status. Sorry, sir.
Can say that it is more than the Australian population, the illegal migrant living in Assam. It's not yet clear. It's still the Supreme Court of India is monitoring an NRC over there. He cannot give any number. That's how many of the illegal migrants there in Assam.
Gaurav, I have to come in over here.
Okay. Sambit Patra wants to quickly respond.
Gaurav, allow me.
Okay, go ahead, Sambit Patra.
Gaurav, I'm amused. Gaurav, I'm amused. I'm amused to the fact that one of the topmost police officers, a former topmost police officer of the country, rightly says that there is a huge population of illegal migrants in India, and there's no reason as to why the resources of India should be divided with them. We have an Indian brother of ours who in fact calls him extra patriotic, and he abuses him, saying that he is lying. He says that why should we not be fending for these immigrants? Why should we be fending for these immigrants in the name of religion and vote bank politics? Why should there be political parties in this country who in fact make out vote bank factories out of this illegal immigrant? Is this not creating a platform where terrorism and national security threat only grows up?
Look, who is saying,
I want to kill this issue of vote bank politics. So illegal immigrants have become vote banks in the past, but Dr. Rahmani, please hear me out. Please hear me out for a moment and then respond. Dr. Rahmani, please hear me out. Gentlemen, please hear me out. Dr. Rahmani, I hope, and I ask you, sir, I hope you're in favor of these illegal Rohingyas not getting a voter identity card, an Aadhaar card, some kind of a ration card, and God forbid, a passport. They should not get any voter ID card in this country, sir. I hope you agree?
I agree. Must not be. Yes, they must not get it. They must not get it. That's why we said that if you have identified, the 16,000 are already identified. Why don't you put them in the detention camps? There are no detention camps except in Assam. Whatever Mr. Sambit Patra is, he cannot substantiate. I know it very well. I'm involved with the Rohingya people. We are discouraging them to get the voter card or the Aadhaar card.
Not just discourage. Sambit Patra, the police should be arresting those who give them voter ID card and ration card for whatever money and whatever maybe their lure. They should be arrested and jailed.
They must be arrested.
Yeah, you are right, Mr. Gaurav, and that's what was happening in Kerala 2 days ago. Your channel had in fact broken that news as to how few people who were illegally getting into all these, in fact they were detained. You had seen as to how the same process took place in one of the camps in West Bengal that was reported in your own channel, as to how in Chobbis Pargana, when 29 of these illegal Rohingya immigrants, they were given out ration cards, etc. The government, the MHA in fact took a note of that, and the MHA sent a notice to Mamata Banerjee's government to act against these people. Ironically, most of these law and order situation remains within the aegis of the state government, and this is where the vote bank politics comes into play. Remember, in the NRC case also, many of these political parties were making hue and cry. Only recently in the Aadhaar judgment, the Supreme Court has categorically said that no Aadhaar card should be given out or doled out to the illegal immigrants of this country. Remember, it was Mamata Banerjee, it was Rahul Gandhi and the likes of these people who were making the maximum amount of sound when the NRC was published.
Well,
40 lakh people had found their way into the NRC.
Well, no Indian should be out of it, but no foreigner should make it to it. But I also want to bring in Mr. Vikram Singh. Mr. Vikram Singh, there are many who say that India is a regional superpower. We hope to play a much bigger role on the world stage. Given the fact that we want to be on the UN Security Council, shouldn't we have a bigger heart and take these illegal immigrants or refugees as they may be and help them till the time the situation is sorted out in their country?
No.
Mr. Gaurav Sawant, these are sanctimonious platitudes, euphemism for political and personal harakiri. You need to see that we are quoting a recipe of disaster when you know fully well that the armed, trained and dedicated, motivated terrorists are infiltrating through the garb of Rohingyas and illegal Bangladeshi migrants. Try this, the established superpowers. Try this in Russia, try this in USA, try this in Israel and see what happens to you. I would say that we need not be so cold-blooded, but we need to see where our self-interest lies and to be active as far as self-interest is concerned. Vibrant self-interest is what is required. We should see what is our national interest.
There are millions of refugees in those countries.
Magnanimity should come much later.
In those countries.
Okay. Sambit Patra, the ball is now very clear in your government's court.
Electrical fences.
Mr. Vikram Singh ji, I'm sure.
The ball is in your court to ensure the illegals do not enjoy the fruit of this taxpayers' money in this country and that they are repatriated to their own country the moment this
why does Mr. Rahmani have to speak against? No, why does Mr. Rahmani always have to shout? I don't understand.
Will they remain in camps? Remains to be seen. We'll be tracking that story.
More than 18 ultra outfits are operating
Why
over
does
there.
Mr. Rahmani speak out of turn always? I don't understand, Mr. Gaurav, because none of us can hear the questions because of the constant rankings.
I would like to understand. I think, Gaurav, you need
please
to...
allow others also to speak. Gaurav, two quick, very important points I believe the viewer should also know. As far as United Nations, as far as United Nations is concerned, remember one thing, India is not signatory to the United Nations Refugee Convention of 1951, nor is it a signatory to the Extended Protocol of 1967. To say that India has breached some kind of convention of the UN is absolutely wrong and unfounded. Secondly, what is humanity? Humanity is to care for the citizens of the country first, to make people of your own... Just a second. In fact, to deny the rights of their own citizens, to deny the rights of their own citizens to the resources of this country, in fact, is the biggest inhuman act of any government. I'm astonished that the PFI spokesperson chooses to be side.
This debate will continue. I have run out of time on the show today, but we'll be tracking this story very closely. Sending 7 back, is this just a flash in the pan? Or will this be followed up? An environment created so that the others can be sent back to their country in a safer environment. I'll be tracking the story very closely.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.